Hey everybody, so it's 7:20 in the morning and I wanted to do this amazing podcast that is actually going to be provided by one of your DMs. One of my listeners, shout out to Gina, she DM'd me and she's been listening to my podcast and she's like, oh my God, Celeste, like I love everything you talk about, but I want you to do a podcast and share with us. How do you do it? How do you do all this stuff? I see you all the time producing and doing all these things. How do you make it work with your kids and everything going on around you? So as I'm sharing all this, I want you to think that your process may be different than mine. And if I sound like I'm whispering a little bit, it's because my little one is sleeping right now. And I probably have, honestly, maybe 20 more minutes of this free time. So first of all, think when you have your free time. For me, it's in the mornings. It's when my kids are sleeping, and that is my production time. Right now with everything going on, after that, there's other things I have to do. So think write down, when do you have the most free time away from your kids that you can, away from your husband. Just think about it. Like, are you guys, once the kids are put in bed, and your husband goes to bed, or, like you're just by yourself, is that your free time? And, I'm just saying, like, maybe you just need like an hour or half an hour or 2 hours. It depends on how your schedule and how your sleeping pattern works. But that's step number one, to figure out when is your golden hour. So how do I do it? For me, it's in the mornings. So I've been waking up at 6 in the morning. Okay, so for me, I wake up at 6 in the morning and I have something that I do every Sunday. And I have this amazing journal. And if you guys want me to share it, let me know in the comments, and or DM me and I'll share with you which one it is. But I have this amazing journal and I plan my my business life 3 months in advance. So I know what goals I have to hit. And I know that can be kind of overwhelming, but here comes the amazing thing. Knowing what I need to do in those 3 months ahead of me, my business helps me have this sense of calmness and not overwhelmed, because I know exactly where I'm going before I even get there. And all I do is just I just do 3 major goals for each month, okay? And then let's say for this month I have 3 major goals. Out of those 3 major goals, I'm just going to make 1 baby goal per week. And that's it. That's how I do it. So pretty much what I do is I grab a calendar, plan out 3 months in advance. And each month I just get 3 main goals that I want to reach. And then I just get to do 1 mini goal that's going to get me that thing accomplished every week. And honestly, that's exactly how I do it. So for example, like this week, my goal was last week was to launch my online website, my online store on my website. And so what I did is I dedicated one of my golden hours to kind of playing around with the system, figuring out how to set up my e-commerce and everything. And then my next golden hour, I took time to take photos of all my product, because usually I have at least 3 golden hours a week, so you don't have to do this a lot. And then I went ahead, and my next golden hour, I published it. I put it on my website and published it. So that's how I utilize my time. As mothers, we can tend to be very overwhelmed, and sometimes we feel guilty, like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? But if you think about it, how many times do our children go on their iPads? Okay, your child doesn't go on their iPad. How many times does a child color on their book or play with their toys, and they don't mind you, and they're like, okay, I'm in my own world, I'm doing my own thing, right now I don't want attention from you. They do it all the time because they love to play and everything. So don't feel guilty. You deserve time for you. You deserve time for your dreams and your goals. And I think that the more you focus on that, the happier you'll be, and you won't be as frustrated. Find your golden hour. Number 2 is, go ahead and just make 3 goals per month and make 4 baby goals out of that. And you just have to do 1 per week, okay? And, if you need more time, you can dedicate just an hour, of your golden hour towards that goal. So you can just use 3 hours per week, which would be like in 3 days. That works out like just an hour, you know. If you can do that, that'd be awesome. So, you know, really schedule. I think scheduling is so important. At first I felt guilty and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this phone calendar is controlling my life. But really, it's not. It's keeping me organized. I know when my kids' doctor's appointments and things will be going on, or else I can't remember things. It's too much with everything being a mom and everything in my business. Just the phone, having a calendar in my life has been like so instrumental for me to be more successful and accomplish more. So I may want to try that. Girl, like you have to get it done. And I've shared this a couple of times, and I share it with you guys now because he is so supportive. My husband, he's amazing. He's been super supportive now. He kind of knows how I am and everything. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that. It was really hard because, you know, he wasn't on the same page as I was. He couldn't really see the vision that I had for my business and our life and everything. You know, like we had like a little bit of a rough patch, I'm not gonna lie, but I still didn't care. Like I knew what had to get done. I was willing to sacrifice him not understanding or being a little upset with me at times to get it done. And also, like, it just is really important to be like frank and honest. Sometimes your partner, it's amazing if they're supportive. You guys can be on the same page, or he can give you like an hour 3 times a week to just focus on what you need to get done for your business or yourself, whether it's working out or having alone time to read a book, whatever that means for you. It's so important. But even if they don't, you have to make them like accountable to do their part. Even if they're not happy to do so. And also, like, if you're a single mom, because this is something I've been doing for years, even before I met my husband. I was a single mama, so shout out to the single mamas out there. I would always dedicate at least an hour to myself. And whether that was like working out, either, you know, like after I drop off my son at daycare or before I picked him up from daycare, I just really took the time. And I know it's really hard for us moms. We're like, oh my gosh, we left him alone and now we're going to go do this. But if you're happy, everything around your life will be happy. To this business, like I always say, it's not because of the hair. I love hair, okay? And I love the chemistry. I love learning about it. I just really love learning out about it. But it was something deeper than that. And that deeper, my reason why I do it is what keeps me going and motivates me in my life. It's what makes me want to be a better mother. I will never be perfect, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with dealing that I'm not a perfect person. But my why really drives me to get things done around with my family and my business. And like right now, you guys probably wouldn't even know, like we're in the middle of a remodel. We have been living in 2 rooms. I was supposed to be for 3 weeks. We moved over here on December 27th. We're now here at April 22nd. So it's always been 4 months. We'll be living in 2 rooms, okay? So we could get our remodel done downstairs so we can move into our own space. And that has been very challenging. But knowing my why, knowing that we're doing this so we can have our own space and it's for our family and it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be calming and it's going to be a little sanctuary. And knowing that each of my children is going to have their space again and we're going to have back to a normal lifestyle, that's my why. And that keeps me calm and centered to get shit done like I need to. So even with my business, same thing. Like, why the hell am I doing it? I know exactly what my why is. So just learn to find your why. Why do you want to do your business? Why do you want to start a business? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to do whatever it is that you want to do? What's your big motivation in that? And I just think like really understanding your why you're doing things will really get you to stop making excuses. And give yourself grace. Remember, if you don't accomplish a goal or crap, I can't do it today because life happened, reschedule it. Reschedule it for the next week or reschedule it for another day. Give yourself grace. Very important over perfectionism because nothing is perfect. And do it in baby steps. If 3 months is too much, then do it at a month. Do 3 goals for that month. And if that's too much, just do it 1 goal per week. And us as humans, and it's so true, and shout out to Natalia for telling me this because it's so true. Us as humans, doing like a checklist and being able to check something off feels so amazing. So, so go ahead and do that. Manage your time. quit making excuses. If your partner is not supportive, or you need to make time by, hey, maybe leaving your child an extra hour at daycare, either before or after you go to work, like, it's okay. Like 3 times a week is totally okay. It does not make you a bad mama. You're amazing. You deserve time for yourself and your dreams. And, remember your why. Remember why you're doing this, why you want to level up, and how doing this is going to bring you to the next level. And if you always remember your why, you'll be able to accomplish anything and many things in your life. So anyways, I hope this was really helpful for you guys, and thank you so much for the DMs and all the positivity and love that you guys leave me in the feedback on there. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have an amazing week. Bye.